I'm Joanne and welcome back to Crafting with Confidence. When it's a day like today, I like to start thinking about warm blankets. So this project is going to be to make a rag quilt. A rag quilt is a soft, fleecy blanket with interesting frayed seams that fluff up when you wash them. These blankets are really cozy when you need an extra layer on your bed on a cool night, or when you just want something warm to snuggle under when you're enjoying some time at home. I like to make rag quilts with 3 layers of flannel, which is an easy fabric to work with and fluffs up beautifully in the dryer. About 13 years ago, when I was just learning to quilt, a colleague mentioned the idea of a rag quilt to me. So I made my first one using 6-inch squares for a friend's daughter who was turning 6 at the time. I was happy with the fluffy outcome and I had so much fun making it that I decided to keep going. So then I made a nice long one for my tall husband, who still enjoys using it to this day. I also sewed a rag quilt for my son, who was 9 at the time, and then a one for my brother-in-law, and another one for a friend's 16-year-old daughter, and more recently I sewed one for a girlfriend's 50th birthday. Like me, once you've made one, you'll soon be itching to make another one. Step 1 in making a rag quilt is to choose your fabric. I really like to use flannel. It's soft, cozy, easy to work with, and relatively inexpensive. Usually I choose one fabric with a design on it, in this case a light blue with some reindeer, perfect for Christmas, and some solid colors to complement the pattern. Here I have a navy blue, a royal blue, and a light blue to go with my reindeer fabric. I will need about 3 meters or 3.5 yards of each of my 2 darker colors, 1 meter or yard of the reindeer fabric, and about 1/2 meter or yard of the light blue. Before I start cutting and sewing, I like to create a colored grid like this to give me a general idea of how many squares of each fabric I'll need. You can see where I've decided to have reindeer squares, royal blue squares, dark blue squares, and light blue squares. The next thing I need to figure out is how many squares of each color to cut. So I have a 5x9 grid, and for each square there are 3 layers, each is 9x9 inches. So the bottom layer of 45 squares I will cut dark blue, and for the middle 45 I will cut royal blue, and for the top I will cut a mixture of colors, 15 reindeers, 14 royal blues, 12 dark blues, and 4 light blues. And there's my overall plan for what I'm going to cut. To prepare my fabric for cutting, I'm first going to iron it so it's nice and smooth. Then I'll use my cutting mat, quilting ruler, and rotary cutter to start making 9-inch strips of fabric. Each time I've made 2 9-inch strips, I'll then turn them lengthwise on my mat and will cut 9-inch squares. You'll notice that each strip I've cut will create 4 squares in total. They pile up quite quickly once you get going on it, and as a quilter, these 3 items, the cutting mat, quilting ruler, and rotary cutter, are essential tools for your projects. And here I have my cut squares ready to go. A large pile of dark blue squares, a large pile of royal blue squares, a modest pile of reindeer squares, and a handful of light blue squares. Now, according to my pattern that I've drawn out in advance, I'm going to work on the top row of my quilt. First, I'll put down the bottom dark blue layer, which you see me doing here. I'll line that up on the table. Then the middle layer is going to go on top of that, which is the royal blue. Keeping in mind I have 3 layers of fabric in this project. And finally I'm going to add the top layer to my 5 sets of squares according to my pattern. And there's the first row of my sets of fabric laid out, and I'm going to pin the middle one here just around each edge just to keep it stable. I could also just toss out those pins and not worry about it because flannel actually sticks together really well, and so I'll be able to sew these quite easily without pins. And here I am starting to sew my squares from corner to corner. Up close you can see that I don't really need pins as the layers tend to stay together quite nicely. Once I've sewed together some squares, I like to lay them out on the carpet so I can get a good sense of the layout of the quilt. Here are the first 5 rows under construction. Sometimes when I'm in the middle of a project, I like to just stop for a minute and think about the person I'm making it for. Perhaps imagining my son snuggling under the blanket, for example. I'm sure you know what I mean. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "The only gift is a portion of thyself." Isn't that the truth? And here are the remaining rows coming together on the floor. In very little time, I have all 45 squares ready to go. My next step will be to sew all the shorter rows together. In a rag quilt, the seams point up so you can see them, like you see me showing here. While in normal quilting we usually sew a 1/4 inch seam with the right sides together, in a rag quilt we sew the squares with the wrong sides together. In this case, the dark blue bottom square faces in. I am creating 1/2 inch seams for this quilt so that there will be enough fabric to snip to fluff up the seams later. Here is how a finished seam will look. And there are the 9 shorter rows sewn together. The obvious next step is to sew together the shorter rows. Again, the seams will be pointing up as you see here. The tricky part about joining the shorter rows is that you end up with some relatively bulky seams where the squares join each other. I like to carefully line up the seams and pin them together where they join, making sure to ensure the extra fabric lays flat before I sew. And here's my rough draft of the quilt, so to speak, before I've done the work to make the fluffy edges. You can see that all the seams are pointing up. In addition, I've sewn the outside edge with another 1/2 inch seam all the way around the quilt. The next job in this project is to clip all of the seams. This is going to take a while, as you'll notice there are numerous layers of fabric as you work your way around. I'll start on the outside edge with a sharp pair of scissors and will slowly progress through the seams, fluffing things up a bit as I go. As I've mentioned, I can use a really sharp pair of scissors for this, but even better, I can use these special spring-loaded shears which cut through the fabric like butter. I found these at a local quilting store and love how they are easier on my hands. Once you've made some progress, here's what the snipped seams will look like. And here I am getting in a little snipping before I head to my teaching job in the morning. I always love working on things whenever I can. When you're making a rag quilt, these sticky rollers are definitely your friend, as you'll notice little bits of fabric seem to go everywhere. A quick roll though, and I'm ready to head to work. I've now finished the clipping, and I'm ready to throw my quilt into a regular cycle in the washing machine. When that's done, there will be a lot of loose fabric bits and threads on my project, so I'll start by giving it a really good shake outside. As you can see, a bit of loose stuff needed to come off. Then I'll throw my quilt in the dryer, making sure to clean out the lint trap every 5 to 10 minutes. And now my quilt is almost done, but it has a bunch of lint on it, the bits that stuck even after I gave it a good shake. So I'll take my handy dandy lint roller and we'll start taking it off. Anything the lint roller doesn't catch, I'll patiently take off by hand. Here's a square before and after the lint removal. And this is the finished project, ready to be given to a loved one. I think I'll try it out for a moment to see how cozy it is. Thanks so much for watching how to make a rag quilt. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and joining me for the next project at Crafting with Confidence.